How do you build a sales pipeline? Well, I am just about to tell you. The first thing, which is really, really important, is that you qualify your prospects. You make sure that you aren't just mindlessly plowing ahead, using resource, using time, maybe spending money, driving to meetings that are unnecessary. That you make sure that you are really focusing on the right kind of prospect. So that involves some sort of customer profiling exercise. Please get in touch if it would be useful if I shared our customer profiling template. But some sort of customer persona building so that you really understand what a great customer looks like for your business. The other thing that you need to do is follow something that we call BANT. Those four letters stand for budget, authority, need, and time. If your lead, if your prospect doesn't tick all four of those boxes, then there is no point in spending your sales effort, whether that be your own in your business or maybe your sales team's time and effort, on pursuing that prospect. The reason that is so critical, let me just go into it in a bit more detail. B for budget. If the prospect doesn't have the budget, then you could do the best sales pitch in the world, but actually they're never going to buy from you. Yes, there are times where your prospect might find some contingency budget from somewhere, or they might be able to get funding from elsewhere. But actually you do need to know for sure that they've got the budget. The A of BANT stands for authority. Does the person that you're speaking to or intend to speak to during the sales process, do they have the authority to buy? So you need to understand their job role, understand where they fit in the decision-making process. If you can, look into maybe Companies House, or there are lots of products out there where you can just check into the finances of a company and you can see who the real decision makers are by name. The N of BANT stands for need. Does your prospect have the need for what you're selling? If they don't have the need, then again, it doesn't matter how good your sales conversation is or how good your pitch is. If the need doesn't exist, then you don't have a solution because there's no problem. So the T of BANT stands for timing. You may find that your prospect has the budget, has the authority, and has the need, but actually the timing for the whatever it is that you're selling, the timing for that need to really come to fruition, for the sale to take place, could be a year into the future. And you need to understand that timing, because if that timing doesn't work for you, for your business, then again, that isn't a good prospect. So that's your qualifying process. B for budget, A for authority, N for need, T for time. If you can tick all four of those boxes, then you have a good prospect. Yeah, look at your customer profiling template, understand the prospect in detail, understand where they hang out in detail, what their problems are, what their challenges are. If they wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning in a cold sweat, worried about something in their business, what is that thing? Because if you can really tap into what they need, then the chances are you've got a really good reason to move forward into the sales conversation. So back to the building of a sales pipeline. That takes some numbers, it takes some consistency, and it is a process. The three numbers that you need to really work on are your activity levels, the number of touch points that you have with your prospects, the conversion rate, the likelihood of you closing the sale or closing each step of the process. So if you have 20 touch points within your sales journey, what is the likelihood of you converting each stage? Stage to stage, closing stage 1 to stage 2 and stage 2 to stage 3. So yes, you need to understand the overall conversion, but you also need to understand the conversion at each stage. And the third point is your average order value. Some people are good at selling packages and upselling volume. So the higher your average order value, the better. Notice that one of those KPIs isn't revenue. It isn't the actual sales revenue. I would suggest strongly that you never set revenue targets. You never set revenue as a goal for yourself or your team, because revenue is just an output. It's just the product of doing some other things really, really well. And those other things are activity, conversion, and average order value. If you do lots of activity, that shows that you try hard. If you're looking at your sales team and you're seeing lots of customer touch points, lots of calls, lots of meetings, lots of Zoom calls, lots of emails going out, lots of engagement on social media, lots and lots of touch points, that shows you that they're trying really, really hard. If their conversion rate is good, that shows you that their skill level is high, that their ability to close each stage of the sales pipeline, each stage of the sales journey, their ability to close it is good. So activity shows how hard you try. Conversion shows how good you are when you try. You can't measure conversion unless the activity's there. So if you've got an underperforming sales team, the first thing you need to do is drive the activity. When you drive the activity, you can then spot where conversion needs to be worked on. And you might spot that some people in the team are really good at converting. And you might spot that some people in the team are not so good at converting. The obvious thing to do would be to buddy those people up and get them to learn from each other. You might also need to reach out for some sales training or some sales coaching. But either way, you can identify where the low conversions happen and you can put training in place to rectify those low conversions. The third point is average order value. And average order value is important because if you convert the activity and your conversion rate is good, the only other way to increase the revenue output is to increase the average order value. Okay? So that is why those three things are my top tips for anybody that wants to grow their sales pipeline and to boost their sales performance. Activity, conversion, average order value. If you do those things really well, the revenue will grow. You need to track and measure each week, each month, each quarter, so that you're constantly and continually improving. I hope that was useful. As ever, I invite questions. Pop a question below. If you'd like to get a copy of our customer profiling template, then please just get in touch. I'm happy to share that. No charge, of course. It's free. We're happy to share that with anybody. So if that's useful, get in touch. And I hope to see you watching another video. Take care.